stunned up, tries to fall away, find a safe position. Loud and knocking at the door now, stunned to follow. He's in danger, needs some help. Ethan can't do it. Aspas is there. Loud trying to get dangerous here. Demon1, shot and a half. This guy is monstrous. That got so.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a brand new series on the channel called Player Settings and Peripheral Analysis. So this is the EP1, and we have none other than Demon1 for episode 1 of this series. He is a Valorant player, professional Valorant player that plays for Evil Geniuses in the VCT Americas League. They're currently playing in Masters Tokyo, and I just watched their game versus Loud last night, which they 2-0'd Loud. And they played Fracture and Ascent. He played Brimstone on Fracture and Jet on Ascent. And I'm just gonna go over his settings and peripherals and why he chooses these settings and what can he upgrade down the line. So as we can see, his real name is Max. He's born in 2002. And I believe he's Russian. I could be wrong, but I think he's Russian because he had some visa issues of going to Tokyo recently, but they got that figured out. So I believe the country is wrong, but he does play in NA for the Evil Geniuses team. And let's talk about his sensitivity and his mouse. So he's on the 1600 DPI, 0.1 cents, 160 eDPI, which is extremely low for duelist and jet players and oppers. I don't know the things he does with this low sensitivity. He has pretty fast flicks and some highlights. I can pop it up on the screen.
I mean, Jorgamo goes huge here as well to even slow this down on the way in. This second shot.
He's extremely precise with his flicks with such low sensitivities. And he's using the 4000 Hz pulling rate because he's using the GVOL's Hottie S Plus 4K, which enables 4000 Hz pulling rate on the mouse. And he has his window sensitivity probably just on the default, which is the 6 tick. And I believe he has his mouse acceleration off by unchecking the mouse enhanced pointer. I forgot what it's called, but we can look it up real quick. Mouse settings, additional mouse. So you can go to here, enhanced pointer precision. So you uncheck this to basically turn off mouse acceleration, and I believe his is off also. So he has raw input buffer on. So I did a little bit of research on this setting on Reddit and stuff. So basically you want to have it on if you have a mouse with more than 1000 Hertz pulling rate, so 2K Hertz or 4K Hertz or even 8K Hertz, you want to have it on. But if you have 1K Hertz or below, you can just turn it off. It basically allows the Valorant game to directly get input from the mouse instead of going through the operating system, which enables you to use a mouse with higher pulling rates than 1K Hertz. So yeah, if you have like a regular mouse, G Pro, Super Light, I have the final mouse, which is 1K Hertz pulling rate, you can just leave it off. I have it off in my settings. And if you have the Razer dongles and the 4K Hertz pulling rate, GVOL's Hottie, and I believe the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition, you should leave it on just for enabling better mouse movement in game. And Crosshair doesn't really matter. There's a highlight of him using no Crosshair, I believe, so I can pop that up. So
I'm by a Phantom. Why not no Crosshair? Yeah, let me just turn it off real quick. The Crosshair.
Take it.
No Crosshair challenge. We will get a kill, no Crosshair challenge.
Actually, that's not bad. That's rude. One push mid behind you.
Wait!
I got flanked.
I'm insane!
Baby.
Hold on!
See that?
Yo, what? I'm insane though! Yo, I just got a Crosshair is overrated.
So it doesn't really matter. He has the movement error off, firing error off. However, in my personal Crosshair, I have the firing error on, and it's on like 0.7. I like the firing error on. It just makes me not want to. It makes me more want to tap people rather than spray. So I would just like leave that on. But I mean, Crosshair is it's more of like a personal preference, so it doesn't really matter. Now let's talk about his keyboard and keybind. So let's talk about his keybind first. He has walk on shift, crouch, control, jump on spacebar. He also has to jump binded on scroll wheel down, and use object F And this is the interesting part. He has equipped primary weapon and secondary weapon and melee on CQE and spike on X. And he has his ability on 1, 2, 3, 4. So I believe the CQEX is the default for the abilities, and he has them flipped. So he has the abilities on the numbers, and then he has the weapons on the CQEX. So I want to talk about the ability 3. I don't see a lot of Jet players or Duelist players using any of the side buttons on the mouse for ability 3 for the Jet dash, and it's very sad to see, because having to press 3 to dash doesn't enable you to dash right at this dash right and and to the side on the right. So any like right based dashes you're not allowed to use. You have to flick and then dash forward to achieve that. You can't press A and 3 at the same time to dash left, which is very easy, or A, W, 3 to dash left forward, like in the diagonal position. So, but however, if you, like, I have it binded on my mouse button, so I can dash left, right, forward, backwards, diagonally left, like diagonal left, diagonal right, diagonal like left back, and then right back, like 8 directional dash it enables me to do. So I believe that would be like a upgrade for him to try binding ability 3 on the mouse button to enable more directional dashes on Jet. And there is a little bit of a downside, which is you have to change your mouse grip when you want to press the side buttons a little bit for like a split second to activate it or to use your bind, which might mess up your mouse grip a little bit and might hinder your aim. But I've gotten used to it, and I don't see myself like miss my flicks just because I had to press like a side button real quick. And yeah, so Demon1, if you're watching this, I mean, you should try it out 2 and 3 on the mouse buttons to see how you feel, and it allows you to dash into 8 directions dashes. So yeah, and he is using the Wu-Ting 60 Etchy. We'll talk about it later when we're talking about his peripherals. And the map, it doesn't really matter. He's on 1080p, full HD, 16:9. Multi-thread rendering on, material quality low, texture quality low, detail quality low, all low, off. He's using 4x. I mean, he's probably on like a really nice PC, so it doesn't really matter if you want it even lower or 8x or 16x on this. Improved clarity off, and he has experimental sharpening on. Me personally, I turned this off just for some extra FPS, so I would suggest him to turn it off. I don't think it makes much of a difference. And he has the rest of it off also. And an interesting part is he has the enemy highlight color on purple, which you don't see very often. You see a lot of people use yellow or the default red. I use the yellow personally, and you see a lot of pro players also use the yellow. However, he's one of the only few I've seen that use purple. I mean, whatever works for him, but I do believe the yellow is a little bit more better than purple. Depends on what your digital vibrance setting is on your monitor. Because if you turn it really up high, I'm sure purple can do the job. But mine's not that high, so I just use yellow. Or even red. Red is pretty good too. So, I mean, he should try out yellow and see how he feels. But he's cracked, so... And let's talk about his gear. This is what you guys came for. He's on the XL2566K, which is the 360Hz fast TN panel from Zawi. I have a review and unboxing video up on the channel if you guys want to check that out. I mean, it's a solid monitor. Zawi sponsors the Valorant VCT leagues, so they use the same monitor on stage as they practice, which is very good. So you want to have the same settings, same peripherals when you practice in tournament. However, in the current VCT Masters Tokyo, they are not using the Zawi XL, any Zawi monitors. They're using, I don't know what they're using exactly, but it's not a Zawi monitor, for sure. I don't know why they did that. Maybe the Japanese league doesn't have these Zawi monitors yet. They have the old monitors. Maybe it's like an LG monitor, I think. So yeah, and on the mouse, he's using the GWOS Hottie S Plus 4K. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a solid mice, but I think there is some upgrades available for him. For example, he can try out the Viper V2 Pro with the hyper pulling dongle, which also supports 4K Hz pulling rate. He can try out the Death Tyler V3 Pro with the 4K with the hyper pulling dongle, hyper speed pulling dongle, which also enables 4K Hz pulling rate. But the best upgrade option for him would be the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition, which enables even up to 8 kHz pulling rate, and it's 49 grams. It is hard to get because it's sold out on the website, but I believe if he wants one, he could probably get his hands on one pretty easily. That mouse retails for $280. I believe the resale goes for like $400 or $500. I don't have one yet, but I'm looking to order one whenever the next restock is to review it on the channel. So make sure you sub and like if you want to see that review. So yeah, I mean, Demon1, if you're watching this, you should try to get your hands on one of the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition. I think you'll like it with the 4K Hz pulling rate and even 8K Hz pulling rate. And on the keyboard, he is using the Wooting 60HE, which is the same keyboard I'm using. I also have a review and unboxing video up on the channel. I don't know what exactly sensitivity he is on the Wooting 60HE. I presume pretty low. However, on my settings, I'm using 0.3 millimeters on all keys. I find that to be the best for Valorant. So yeah, I mean, this is probably the best keyboard on the market for Valorant and CSGO, and I think Osu also. I have reviews on the channel. I might post another review soon, so stay tuned. And on the headset, he's using the HyperX Cloud 2. I don't know how accurate that is, but I would suggest him to just get an earbud. I'm using the Logitech G333. It's very solid for Valorant. I can hear a lot of surround sound. I can pinpoint where enemies are, and it doesn't leave a dent on my head. I know he currently has a bald buff, and he probably doesn't care about messing up his hair, because I kind of don't like messing up my hair with the headsets and I don't know, denting my head. But he's the Saitama man, One Punch Man, so he probably doesn't care with the bald buff. And on tournaments, they use in-ears with headsets over their ears for white noise to silence the crowd. So I don't know how much he likes the in-ears from the tournaments, but I think in-ears are definitely better than the headsets for gaming purposes. And on the mousepad, he recently, like literally yesterday or 2 days ago, went from the GSR SE Rogue to Artisan Hien. And I saw he posted it on his Twitter, and I left the source there, and then the pro settings was able to update it just 12 hours ago. So I believe he's on the soft, but I don't know for sure. He could be on the mid or the X soft. But I'm surprised he chose the Hien over the Zero. I don't know if he tried the Zero and the Hien and picked Hien over the Zero. But for Valorant, I have the Zero, and I believe the Zero is a much better pad for Valorant and CSGO, like tac shooters wise, than Hien, because it's a little slower and provides much more stopping power for flick based games. But because of his low sensitivity, like extremely low sensitivity on 160 EDPI, he might benefit more from the Hien, because it allows him to glide a little bit more easily, because he doesn't need that much stopping power because he's on such a low sense. So maybe he does benefit from the Hien's glide a little bit more than the Zero. So if you really want Demon1, if you're watching this, you should give the Zero a try, see how you like it, and if you're not, you can go back to the Hien whenever. So I mean, his PC specs, nothing really, just they all have really good PCs, probably all get above like 500 FPS in game. And that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the series, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment on who I should do next. For EP1, we did Demon1 because of the 1 in his name, number 1 in the game, you already know. And yeah, that is it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.